Welcome to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast. Hey there, it's JD back again for another week of Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast, where I attempt to take you through the catalog chronologically of seminal indie rock darlings, lo-fi kings of awesomeness, Pavement. But what's in it for you, JD? Well, I get to brush up on my pavement. I get to learn a little bit as I go along. And hopefully one day, as I've already done with Spiral Stairs, I will get to meet Malcolmus. This week on the docket, we are flipping over the Summer Babe 7-inch EP. Last week we listened to the titular track, Summer Babe. Today we're going to listen to track 1 on side 2, and I'm rather excited about it. It's a pretty good EP. But the big news of the week is late last week, word dropped. Well, let's rewind. Because about 2 weeks ago, Malcolmus, in an interview with Rolling Stone, said that the potential for a Pavement reunion was, quote, realistic. Well, realistic became reality late last week as the Primavera Sound Festival revealed to the world that indie band Pavement will reunite for 2 exclusive performances celebrating their 30th anniversary at the Primavera Sound in Barcelona and the NOS Primavera Sound Porto in Portugal in 2020. So that'll be May and June of next year. We don't have any idea when tickets go on sale yet. If you hear about it, please let me know. This is something that I'm intending on going to. Probably the Barcelona show. I just got to get my ducks in order, and the first thing to get my ducks in order is to get my hands on a goddamn ticket. So keep your ear to the ground and keep your old friend JD in mind. This news is huge. Now, there's been a lot of speculation on Reddit and Facebook and, this kind of stuff, that the fact that it's exclusive means those will be the only 2 dates in 2020. And I haven't got a chance to talk to anyone yet, but it seems like that is the case. However, you would have to assume that if things go well, we'll see a tour in 2021 to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Slanted. And of course, the 2nd anniversary of Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast. So there's that. I have been getting letters of the yin yang this week, and I just want to share a couple. They mean so much to me. I got a message from Junkyard Todd, and he was saying, "Hey JD, so glad to have you back. And please accept my awkward condolences. Awkward because I noticed something really interesting about Summer Babe, and I'm just really excited to talk about it." See, he's awkward because he wants to talk about Pavement, and my mom died. And that makes him feel awkward. But we got to move on. We got to move forward, not move on. She's like the best part of my life, and she's amazing. But the healing process is moving on, and that means listening to this band that we all love and rallying around its awesomity. So let's do that. Anyway, Junkyard Todd continues. I'm pretty sure the 2 versions of Summer Babe are actually remixes of the same original recording. You are correct, Junkyard Todd. They are. But I think he may have re-recorded the main snaky lead guitar line. But if he did, it sounds very similar to the original guitar line with just a few minor changes, which kind of goes counter to the way SM presents himself as this sort of goofy idiot just carefully spitting stuff out. If he actually played that guitar line so almost perfectly a year later, that is some virtuoso level talent and a focus on detail that seems unlikely. On the other hand, it could just be the same take and it sounds really different because they took off that pulsing effect. The same goes for the lead vocal. If that's not just a remix, then he very painstakingly recreated all the little vocal affectations, most notable, the little chortle in drop off, which just seems like a very un-Malcolmist kind of move. I don't know. Maybe this is really only interesting to me. What do you think, Todd? Todd, no, this is interesting to a lot of people. I've heard something similar from a couple people. What I do understand though is it is a remix, and they didn't go back into the studio. These all come from the Slanted sessions. So when Slanted was pressed by Matador for the Matador release, it was souped up a little bit in mixing and mastering, mixing mainly. And the Drag City release was more what the boys gave them. They weren't masters of the studio. They had been in the studio, a handful of times, but they typically, were pretty hands-on. So that's what I understand. I'm with you 100%. I have a friend that plays guitar, and he plays, and I sing, and we do some Pavement songs, and he's very much like, there are so many little nuances about Malcolmus playing these guitar parts so loose and jangly and seemingly effortlessly. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Seemingly, they're just farting out of his guitar. But it's too clever for that to be the case. Like there has to be more planning in there than there is. Now, that's not to say that the slackeriness is a put on or a pose, but it just goes to show you that this man has genuine talent, to me. And I believe I said that coming back from the Groove Denied tour concert, that he can shred. The guy can shred. The guy can play. And, there is a Sloan CD. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the band Sloan, but there's a Sloan CD, and the liner notes, it's a live CD. It talks about playing a solo and missing a note. And when you miss a note live, you just play it again, and everybody thinks you're jamming. And I think that's a lot of the ethos of Pavement, right? Make a mistake, just do it again. Maybe make it bigger. Then it's not a mistake. Anyway, thanks a lot, Todd. I also got a little note from Tony. Hey, JD, just wanted to get in touch after your recent loss and last podcast. I'm sorry to hear about your mom passing away. I had tears in my eyes as I drove and listened to the Milk, Spiral Stairs, and Pavement tune you chose. It was a really touching tribute. My dad passed away quite suddenly earlier this year, and my mom isn't too well now, so it just wasn't an easy listen for me. The next few weeks and months won't be easy for you, but you're building a community that appreciates you and your work and are thinking about you. Jesus fucking Christ. That's crazy. That's not what I intended ever, but I can't tell you that's what's happening. I'm getting people writing me letters at home. I'm getting gifts. I'm getting magazines. I'm getting books. You guys are too much. Anyway, Tony continues. I'll write again with a more Malcolmist-focused message from seeing Pavement at Reading in 92 to the Jicks in Paris last year, and a lot of times in between. I'll share my vinyl completist obsession, and we can see if any other listeners can beat my collection. Take care. Tony from Glasgow. Tony, thanks so much. That means a great deal to me. And all of these letters really, truly, I don't have words. I don't have words. I do, however, have lyrics. I have lyrics in front of me for track 1 side 2 of the Summer Babe EP, Mercy Snack, The Laundromat, on Meeting Malcolmus, a Pavement podcast.
I'm treble kicked. I've been down to the laundromat. The lines are long, my lines are strong. I've been down to the south of Maine. I worked a week, I snuck a peek. I've been down to the bondage street. Guitar is numb, my eyes are dumb.
That's Mercy Snack, The Laundromat, and that comes from the Summer Babe 7-inch. It's the second track. Comes from the Slanted and Enchanted sessions. The band had been playing some of these songs up and down the East Coast and honing up before they went into those sessions in and around the time before they recorded. They were still playing as a predominant 3-piece with Malcolmus, Spyro, and Gary. They were supplemented with another guitarist who didn't make it to the end of the last tour, and as such was not part of the studio recordings. But around this time, Bob Nastanovich was tour managing, being a tour manager where he could, fitting them all into the back of a family car and getting them to gigs. And I believe, sometimes they were rehearsing at Mark Eibald's place in New York City as well. So I'm jonesing for a Mercy Snack. I'm regular. I'm treble kicked. I've been down to the laundromat. The lines are long. My lines are strong. I've been down to the south of Maine. I worked a week. I snuck a peek. I've been down to the bondage street. Guitar is dumb. Eyes are numb. I saw the terror in your tongue. The cat's domain is no longer fun. I waited and I waited and I waited. And then I went back home to my apartment. Views and all the screws were loose inside my guts, and gore was pouring out. I did adore my ellipses. So what the fuck is going on with Mercy Snack, The Laundromat? Well, Urban Dictionary tells us that a mercy is a attractive, exuberant female, and snack is also a slang for, an attractive person, male or female. So perhaps, perhaps on its face, and I'm being real loose here, but somebody, the protagonist in this song, is looking for a partner, looking for somebody to be with, that they are more outward and exuberant than they're normal. They're a regular person, but they want to be with somebody who's more out there. So they went down to the Laundromat. They've been to the south of Maine. They've been down to Bondage Street. But they're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then they go back home, empty-handed. I'll tell you what I'm waiting for with Mercy Snack, the Laundromat. I'm waiting for a chorus. This song is begging for a chorus. This is such a wonderful song from a verse perspective and an idea perspective. But boy, oh boy, wouldn't just a great chorus and solo, complete the package? I think so. Keep it, sort of in the vein that it's in, that sort of dragging your heels, guitar work, it sounds like it's being pulled out of you, this music. There is still a production note that lets you know that it's lo-fi toward the end. You can hear almost the needle on the record going around in a dusty type environment. It's a good song, but it needs more, where I'm concerned. I know why it didn't make Slanted. It's an outtake. It's a B-side. And it's very good, but I need more. So that's what I got for you this week. Mercy Snack, the Laundromat. The second track on the second side. Pardon me, the first track on the second side of Summer Babe. Do you have Summer Babe? Does anyone out there own the EP? Send me a picture. Love to see it. I'm doing some collecting myself. Just pavement stuff, really. And I think some of that stuff would be fun. Anyway, take care. Be good. And all the rest. Peace out. Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast, is a weekly affair. You can listen, share, rate, and review the show wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about the show, go to www.meetingmalcolmus.com. I tweet and Instagram @meetingmalcolmus. Steven, are you listening?